Hello, Achievers. Welcome back to another episode of Smart Credit Bites. I'm your host, Sangeeta Sharma. So, last week we talked about why business fails, the real reason beneath the surface. And you know what struck me? The response was not surprise, it was recognition. So many of you saw yourself in those patterns. I got so many messages on Instagram that yes, these are true. Now, today we are discussing something more specific, that is for the new startups, your first 90 days, the critical window that basically determines your trajectory. So here's what decade of studying businesses taught me. The first 90 days are not about execution, they are about discovery. And you're not building the business yet, you are just figuring out what business you are actually in. And most founders get this backwards. And honestly speaking, this costs them everything. So let's talk about what really happened in those first 3 months. So let's get started. Okay, so there's the thing that kills more early stage businesses than bad markets or maybe lack of money. And I call it legitimacy trap. Yes. Now here's what happened. Just think. Someone leave their job, right? They start a business and suddenly feel so overwhelming, right? Just they need to prove they are running a real business to themselves, to society. So now what do? They design logo, they design professional website, they print the business cards, their company paperwork and virtual office. And sometimes I have seen that people take premium software subscription. Yes, and now they are building what a business look like instead of what business actually does, right? Let me tell you an example about my one of my client, Arvind. He was exceptional designer. He had 10 years of experience. Now, before taking on his first client, he spent 8 weeks just building his portfolio site, custom animation, elaborate case studies, sophisticated filters. I know it sounds very cool, right? But you know, his first client, how did he get his first client? He got his first client through a colleague's referral. Yes, never his first client never ever even looked at his website. He hired him over just a phone call and the recommendation. And he asked for two sample emails and same was provided to him. Now just imagine 8 weeks and zero impact. But here's what more interesting psychologically I think it is that building that website might have felt him productive. It might felt him safe because you cannot get rejected by a logo, right? Now that's the trap. You feel like you are making progress while avoiding the only thing that matters, like talking to your real customers. Truth. Now, what is the uncomfortable truth in this? That is, you don't become that legitimate by looking legitimate. You become legitimate by solving the problems people will pay you to solve, right? The market does not care about your branding in just 1 month. It cares about just one thing. That is, can you solve their problems, right? And everything else is the polished brand, the fancy system. Those are luxuries after you earn, you prove your basic works. I have watched so many founders, they spend their entire first 90 days just building infrastructure for their businesses, and that business doesn't even exist yet. Yes, then they wonder why they haven't made money, right? Now, now the real legitimacy comes from one place, that is customer transaction. Someone is having a problem, you solve them, and money changes in hands, right? And you repeat it again and again. Every hour you spend on something else, that's the borrowed time that I believe that you will never get back, right? Now, okay, now let's talk about something most business advice gets wrong. What's your first business actually is? Now, I have seen many people think that your first customer is your validation, proof your idea works. But Trust me, that's not it. Your first customer is your diagnostic tool. They show you the gap between what you assumed you will be doing and what is the reality. And that gap always is bigger than you can ever think. When you are planning, your model is simplified. You are guessing what people want, what they will pay, and why will they choose you, right? But when you get the actual real customer, they are infinitely more complex than your assumption. Your first customer is when those two worlds collide, right? And what you learn is more valuable than any research, than any book will teach you, any business book, right? Now, I remember one of my neighbors. She's Neha. She's from India and she's 30 years old. She started a bookkeeping service. Earlier, she was accounts, but later on, she decided to switch her career and she started a bookkeeping service. Now, initially she spent weeks building those comprehensive offering, building that financial strategy, growth advising. She took even QuickBooks training. She prepared for tax prep support, and all of them were so sophisticated. Now, when she put on freelancer, she got a first client, and that was a freelance photographer who just basically asked her, "I have two boxes of receipts. I'm terrified of these accounting. Can you make this less scary?" Now, she had a choice. Either she could upsell the comprehensive package or listen to what the market was telling her, right? Right? And you know what she did? She just listened to herself, organized all those receipts, and set up a simple system. She explained everything in plain language to her and made that scary parts manageable. And while doing this, all this, her first clients, while dealing with this, her first clients, she discovered that there was an entire segment of creative professionals who did not want a strategic CFO. They just wanted to someone to translate their financial complexity into simplicity. And that's it. Now, this was a different business that she has ever planned. This was maybe according to you less prestigious, but that was the actual need of the market. That was more viable. Her first customer told her that what the business she is actually in, not what she thought she would win, right? Now, here's the hardest part. You have to willingly to listen. You have to give yourself that willing just to listen to others, to your customers. You have to care more about market reality than your that perfect vision. Now, I don't call that something perfect. That's just your ego death. The imagined perfect business dies, and the real imperfect one that actually solves a problem is born. I've seen founders who struggle. They keep trying to force the market into their box. Now they explain you why customers should want what they are offering instead of that adapting. So to get your first customer as fast as possible, this is not to validate your idea, to correct it. Now, every day you spend refining in isolation is another day you are polishing your assumptions instead of you are testing them in the market. Your first customer is your mirror. You just have to be brave enough to look what it reflects. You need to find the problem, the gaps in your society, so that that could become your business, right? Rather than just planning that perfect one business. Now, here's a paradox. I know planning is essential, but I do think that planning is also a trap. There's a cognitive bias called the planning fallacy, right? Underestimating time, overestimating how smoothly all the things will go. Now, extensive planning creates sunk cost commitment. These are the more time you invest in plan, the more you attach you become, right? It stops being a hypothesis and becomes your identity, right? Suppose I spend 3 months just planning a business. No, I'll do this, I will do this. But when I go to reality check, no one needs it that I thought I could deliver this, right? And but there's an ego inside me, attachment inside me that would never let me go the planning that I thought initially the business, and this will stop me from growing, right? Catastrophic in the first 90 days, because early stage business is all about uncertainty. The strategy is not minimizing your uncertainty through more planning, it's about minimizing your exposure to being wrong through rapid testing, and that experience you get only in the real market. When you step yourself in the market, in your society, you learn that. Now think about this. Just two founders, they have similar business. Okay, founder A spends 4 months just planning financial projection, market analysis. He buys personas, he prepares 40 pages business plan. And now let's take founder B. He just spends 1 week researching, just learn some practical work through YouTube videos. Maybe he takes some short courses, right? Then he starts making offers just on LinkedIn. He starts simply to put offers. Now, what do you think after 4 months? What is the difference between the two founders, right? Founder A is just launching, he just business planning, he elaborates plan, he has zero market feedback, he has zero real customers, and truthfully speaking, zero real data. And what do you think? What would be the stage of founder B? He has 4 months of market contact. He has talked to maybe more than 100 potential customers. He made 50 offers, and in 50, if suppose 5 had been closed, then he has at least 5 closed deals, right? He has actually delivered his work. He has 5 reviews of his customers. Now you know what works and what doesn't, correct? Now, more importantly, that they have adapted their business on day 120 looks nothing just like day one, right? Reality shaped it. Founder A's business looks exactly like it was on day one plan, completely untested. Now, according to who's better position, I call this strong opinions weakly held. You need direction, but hold it loosely. By what when reality demands it, you treat your business models as a hypothesis and not a blueprint. You are a scientist just running experiments, not an architect executing the design, right? Just make an assumption. Small law firm needs social media help. They test it quickly, reach out to 10 firms and see what they say. Adjust, correct? Maybe they don't even care about social media, they care about client intake system, right? And know you new hypothesis and they test it. Now, here is a framework that I believe just plan Monday on Sunday. Means whatever you have to do tomorrow, just plan it today, and trust me, it will save your time and make your next day more productive. I have tested this and it really works. That's it. Look at the coming week. Ask what's one experiment I can run that will teach me something valuable. Do it, learn it, plan next week based on that what you have learned. And the first 90 days are not execution, they will be your discovery. Now let's talk about your relationship with money, right? In just first 90 days, because the financial decision you make, you will be making here will shape everything, your future business. Two opposite failures I see constantly, both from discomfort with exchanging value of money, and failure one is underpricing. When you significantly underprice, you are saying, I'm not sure I'm worth of it. And the going rate, I have seen many founders, even in my early starting career. I I quoted myself less because I thought that why will someone hire me instead of the one who are in the market. That's my practical example, right? But slowly, when I realized that when I quote myself less, people think that I'm not worth it. my knowledge, my work, they are not worth it, and they treat me like the one. So slowly, as I realize it, I change it. I just charge same as market, and sometimes due to my premium services, I charge more. And trust me, I get the customer. Now that becomes self-fulfilling, right? Clients who hire based on low prices, they are cost optimizing, not value seeking. They cancel more. They are more demanding. They don't implement suggestion. Trust me, this is true. They don't refer others because they are just busy in their world. They want just their work to be done, and they think they have done it at less prices. They never seek for the growth, and that impacts your career, your future, because those clients have not invested enough to be committed. Meanwhile, when you are working harder for less money, you are getting worse results, reinforcing your belief you are not worth more. Trust me, this is true. Now, here's the thing, I'm not calling it greed. This is not about greed. It's about sustainable value delivery. Just when you charge appropriately, you can invest in development and you feel good. Turn down your all bad fit clients. You do more deeper work, you learn more because you are not desperate. You are better for clients because when you will be well compensated, think like this. If someone pays you well, you think you can give more so that you can, in future, you can increase your value. And these clients who are committed, who are paying you premium amount for your services, they will definitely refer you and they want premium from you. There is two development: your clients, you get premium clients, and secondly, you work on yourself, right? And this sounds like you are not desperate, right? Now they are, you are not just less stressed, you get proper compensation, you create healthy exchange dynamics, right? Just I believe that charge like you're established when you are even not. Early discount, maybe you can give 20 to 25% off your market days. But once you establish your work that has real value, please just keep your real value, right? Now, failure number two, I believe, is overspending before just validation. I've seen some founders, they spend like funded startup before making even a single penny. They buy office spaces, they spend on equipment, software, contractors. They rationalize that you have to spend money to make money. But what's the reality? They are making expensive bets on untested assumption. In the first 90 days, you don't know what works, right? Every rupee committed to your fixed cost constraints your adaptability, like your ability to adapt. Lean startup principle is that minimize burn rate until you find product market fit. It's about maintaining the flexibility, right? Less committed, less committed spending month, more freedom to the pivot, more experiment. You will get a longer runway. True. Now I've watched founders rent rental space just in the first month. And the worst is sometimes they take 10 years lease. They don't know whether they will get customer or not, but they plan for long term and they invest heavy money. And then they discover customers prefer just online ordering, and now they're stuck paying on an empty storefront. Don't you think that's an expensive learning? Framework for the first 90 days should be revenue side, like principle for price for your sustainability. Your price teaches the market how to value you. True. Expense side, spend only on the serving customers you actually have, not that imagine that potential, actually, right? Track everything at day 90. Answer yourself, am I building a business or just funding is my hobby, right? Now the difference is just profit, and that profit lets you survive long enough to serve people well. The money psychology you establish, it will persist and it becomes your business financial DNA, right? Now let's talk about system where smart people make foolish decisions, right? especially people with corporate backgrounds. They try to find infrastructure immediately, but system they are constraints, right? Every system is bet on how your business will operate in the first 90 days. You don't know that yet, correct? I've watched founders, they spend thousands on just CRM system with just three customers. Is it worth? Project management software, even when they are solo, automated invoicing for 1 month, one invoice a month, premature scaling, right? Even when you can prepare this in Canva or maybe Google Sheet when you don't have customer and you get first 10 or maybe 20 customers. True. Now you can even prepare a sample invoice in Excel or maybe Google Sheet. Now in the first 90 days you need exactly what I believe these three systems. First is financial awareness. No, you need to know if you are losing or making money. This does not require accounting software. Just requires a spreadsheet that can be your Google sheet. Just note down money in, money out, date, amount, and what it was for, right? And that's it. Even up till now, after starting my business for at approx 6 months, I use Google Sheet, and sometimes I use free version of Vapor that is very good. You can do the same. Now, number two, customer relationship tracking. When someone reaches out, capture it somewhere besides your memory. Who are they? What do they need? What stage? Next section. Spreadsheet, simple CRM index card. Doesn't matter. Just capture it in Google Sheet. Now, in the startup chaos, you will forget to follow up. Every forgotten follow up is just a lost revenue. And now, number three, that I believe the system you need is process consistency. Document how you do what you do. A checklist ensures quality that stay consistent when you are stressed. Home inspector 47 item checklist, same order every time, consultant intake process and delivery framework. Now, see, suppose when you grow slowly and you don't know, you have never noted down your system, then you will be the one working and you will never be satisfied with the employees. So, just to train your employees further so that they can act like they are also a company, you need to note down everything. You need to prepare the system, right? Just prepare a checklist, and whenever someone joins you, hand over them and ensure the quality does work so that you are not an employee of your company. You are the boss busy in planning and just expanding. True? Now, just make this rule. Don't implement a system until its absence actually cause you pain, right? Not theoretical future pain. I'm talking about here actual pain. Stay light, stay flexible, build a business first, infrastructure can be second, right? Now, here's what separates successful founders learning velocity. The speed you convert uncertainty into knowledge. I wonder if this works. Do I know whether this works or not? Correct? Now, here I will take example of two founders with similar business. Founder A, he spent 2 weeks in just planning, marketing, researching best practices, perfect message, email sequence, content in advance. He launch it all and wait for results. Now, founder B, 2 hours he spent writing basic message. He sends randomly to 10 people on LinkedIn. Then he see what happened. Then adjust, and then again he tries it next day by just keeping the few changes based on his review. Now, after 2 weeks, what do you think? Founder A executed one perfect campaign. Just he is waiting for data. And in the meanwhile, the founder B ran 14 experiments. He know what language people resonate to, what his clients resonate to, and what he calls to action work. Now, what timing works? Right? Iterated 14 times. Who knows more? This is called, I call it learning velocity, not perfection, just iteration and speed. Business that survive complete learning cycles faster. They test, feedback, adapt faster. They survive, right? After 90 days, you will have the real market intelligence, not just theoretical, real practical knowledge. You will see patterns, what consistently works, what to stop doing, And this is how you go from business idea to actually business through rapid cycles of testing, learning, and just adapting. The faster you complete these cycles, the faster you will find network. Okay, I know it's more. So let's wrap up quickly. Now, the first 90 days are not about building your business, they are about discovering what your business you are actually in. Maximize your market contact, not just your preparation. Treat your first customer as a diagnostic tool. Hold plans loosely, iterate quickly, price for sustainability, spend only what's actually necessary, build only the system that you need, move fast. Learning velocity is your competitive advantage. I believe that business that survive past 90 days are the not ones with the that perfect plan. They are the one that adapted faster to what actually the market wanted. If you are in your first 90 days or about to be, permission to be messy, permission to be wrong, and permission to pivot, but not the permission to hide behind those planning. Market will teach you everything, and but that market will only help if you show up and ask them. Now, thank you for listening. Until next time, stay in the arena. And if you like this episode, share with someone who actually needs it, and subscribe to me on my YouTube. You can also subscribe me on my WhatsApp channel where I share day-to-day updates. Thank you. This is Sangeeta Sharma signing off. Smart Kid Bites.